Hey, today we're exploring Mason. This is a favorite suburb here in Cincinnati, known for its family-friendly environment and top-notch amenities. In 2022, Mason was actually ranked the #4 place to live in the entire United States by Fortune magazine. So if you're curious to know what makes Mason one of the top places to live in Ohio, stick around. You're gonna love what we have to show you. And by the way, I know my stuff because I've lived here. Let's roll. Hey, I am personally super pumped about today's video. We're gonna dive into everything that you need to know about Mason. This incredible Cincinnati suburb is packed with great amenities, excellent schools, and a welcoming community vibe. So whether you live here, are considering moving here, or are just curious about the area, we've got you covered. So in this video, we're gonna unpack everything about Mason. We're gonna dive into the location and how that's unique in the landscape here in Cincinnati, the amenities that Mason has to offer with tons of options for you, the housing market and the details around these homes and upcoming developments, the demographics of the area and some of the major employers, and we'll even spend time talking to a former mayor of Mason to get the full download on this incredible community. So without any further ado, let's jump into the location. So the city of Mason is located just over 20 miles northeast of downtown Cincinnati. This is an incredible spot here for a suburb because you're within commuting range of pretty much anywhere in the city to work. Not to mention you have access to both I-71 and I-75. These are the two major highways that run north and south through Cincinnati. As someone who has lived here in the past, I love the accessibility to both of these major highways here in Cincinnati. In addition, you've got the Ronald Reagan Cross County Highway and I-275 that connect both 71 and 75. Anytime you get stuck in traffic, whether that's a wreck or potentially during rush hour, you've got options to get back to Mason from the city. So downtown Mason, where we actually just filmed our intro, is really just a quaint little section of the greater Mason area. And when we talk about Mason in this video, you're actually gonna see an overlap into Deerfield Township. While Deerfield Township isn't entirely the Mason School District, it also overlaps into Kings. People really think locally about Deerfield Township and Mason being a holistic area, and a lot of the stuff and the amenities we talk about today are gonna be in Deerfield Township as well. Now, the one distinguishing aspect, if you are truly looking to move to this area between Mason and Deerfield Township, will be the property taxes and the income taxes. So make sure to consider that if you're getting ready to make a move. Now, because of this location north of downtown Cincinnati, I do want you to consider some of the awesome suburbs that surround Mason. First, let's start with Westchester. One of the major benefits of Westchester, right off of I-75 before you get to Mason, is Voice of America. This is a huge shopping center, a massive park, and tons of amenities that Mason locals utilize all the time. Now, also adjacent to Mason and Westchester, you have Liberty Township. And Liberty Township is home to the Liberty Center. This is one of the most awesome outdoor shopping and dining places in all of Cincinnati, and it's right there for Mason residents to be able to easily access. So in my opinion, when people think about Mason, Westchester, or Liberty Township, there's a little bit of a bleed over there and all of those amenities servicing all of those locations. I think that's good to know if you're from out of town. Now, a few other areas and suburbs close by that are worth noting are Lebanon, which is a little bit further north, Loveland, which is a fantastic place to live in Cincinnati, and Landon. When you think about these areas, they also have a lot to offer, but they might not be as closely associated with Mason as Westchester and Liberty Township. So while those are some of the closer suburbs here in the area, let's go a little bit broader for a second. By coming 30 minutes north of Cincinnati, you're actually much closer to Dayton. So when we think about airport access, you have CVG, which is Cincinnati's airport, about 45 minutes away. But just slightly further, about 50 minutes away, you also have access to the Dayton airport. Don't get me started on all of the amenities that Dayton has to offer, but by being this far north of the city, you might be able to consider a lot of the amenities that Dayton has to offer in the way that someone closer to Cincinnati might not even think of as an option. So I can speak for myself. Why did I choose to live in Mason for many years? It's a prime location really close to employers, entertainment options, and amenities that a lot of Cincinnati doesn't have to offer, and truly you can commute wherever you need to from this awesome suburb. Now, speaking of some of those amenities, let's dive in and see what Mason and Deerfield Township have to offer. So Mason is known for its extensive amenities that cater to a variety of interests and lifestyles. I'm gonna do my best to break down just some of what makes this area so special. First, let's jump in with some restaurants. When it comes to breakfast options, some of our favorites are Le Peep, the Half Day Cafe, and of course, the trusted First Watch. For lunch and dinner, I do want to take just a second to highlight one of my absolute favorite restaurants, not just in Mason, but the entire city of Cincinnati. This is Two Cities Pizza. They specialize in both New York style and Chicago style pizza under one roof. A super cool concept, incredible branding, and worth your time to check out. In the downtown Mason area, we would also suggest the Wildflower Cafe, Quatman Cafe, and SW Clybourne. Now let's touch base on just a few of the chain options that are offered here in Mason and Deerfield Township, because pretty much anything you could ever want is right here. A few of the restaurants that you might know and love are Firebirds, Bravo, and Red Robin. And I'm serious, you can check out some of this drone footage, but it seems like there is every restaurant in this area, from Joella's Hot Chicken to Rusty Bucket, wood-fired pizza options to Chick-fil-A. Whatever you want, Deerfield Township and Mason probably have it. And of course, we'll round out with some dessert options. The Mason Whippy Dip is a fan favorite around here. Grater's, Cincinnati's best ice cream, and Servati Pastry Shop. And as someone who works remotely quite often, one of my favorite topics, coffee shops. We've got 4 great options for you here that are more local. Cocoon Coffee Shop, Calla Coffee House, Adesso Coffee Shop, and Kid Coffee. And of course, to our discussion on all the chains, you've got Starbucks and Dunkin'. Now let's talk shopping. When it comes to Mason and Deerfield Township, they boast several shopping centers, including the Deerfield Town Center. This offers a mix of retail stores, dining options, as we've already discussed, and entertainment venues. In Mason and Deerfield, you're gonna find stores like Costco, Home Depot, Lowe's, Walmart, Target, Dick's Sporting Goods, the massive brands that you know across the country. I'm not joking, when it comes to Mason and Deerfield Township, you're gonna have access to every national chain and shopping destination you could ever need. Now let's talk grocery stores. Here in Mason and Deerfield, you have access to Kroger, Whole Foods, Fresh Time, Costco, Walmart, and niche markets of all kinds like Asian markets or halal foods. Now let's talk health and fitness. Here in Mason and Deerfield, of course, there are plenty of options, but in my opinion, 2 stand above the rest. This would be the Mason Community Center first. This is a great option for families here locally or an individual who wants tons of opportunities to work out or have access to pools, pickleball, basketball, and more. And very similarly, we have Lifetime Fitness, which is one of the nicer facilities you're gonna find in all of Cincinnati when it comes to all of these things. And of course, if these fitness giants aren't your cup of tea, we have plenty of options for you. You can also access Crunch Fitness and some more niche workouts like Orange Theory, CrossFit, Body Alive, Pure Barre, and Stretch Lab. Any type of workout you can think of, Mason is gonna have a great commercial or boutique option for you. Now let's talk parks. If you're not from here, you might not realize this, but Mason has a really impressive park system with over 300 acres of parks. And right now we're at Pine Hill Lakes Park. This is perfect for a family day out, and it features fishing lakes, hiking trails, and picnic areas of all kinds. Other great options here in the Mason area would be Cattell Park, Heritage Oak Park, and McKeno Park, which in my opinion has one of the most impressive kids playgrounds I've ever seen. And if you're into sports, the Mason Sports Park and Corwin Nixon Park have you covered with tons of ball fields and of course, more playground options. Okay, so you've eaten, you've worked out, and you've hung out at every local park in the city. What else is there to do around here? Yes, we've finally arrived. The biggest destination in all of Mason, Ohio is Kings Island. Over 50 years ago, one of the best amusement parks, in my opinion, in the entire United States, opened up and has been servicing patrons, and they love it. People come from out of town. I was a Gold Pass member growing up, and we cannot say enough about this incredible amusement park featuring the Beast, one of the world's craziest wooden roller coasters. And to accompany Kings Island's incredible water park, just next door you actually have an indoor water park, the Great Wolf Lodge. This is a family favorite around here as well. Some other options are catching a movie at the Regal Cinema, having some fun at Mason Bowl, or attending a baseball game at Prasco Park, which typically includes free food and ice cream. And I would be remiss not to bring it up because I was a longtime employee, but in 2019, my favorite water park, The Beach, shut down. You'll see this off the highway, but there are no plans to reopen it. Now let's talk sports entertainment. One of the biggest events in the city is the Cincinnati Open, and this is at the Lindner Tennis Center right here in Mason. This is a huge deal, and some of the world's best come here to play tennis. And if you and your kids are looking to play sports yourself, you have Courts for Sports, which has tons of basketball courts, wall-to-wall soccer complex, now known as Let's Play Soccer, with some awesome indoor fields, and Diggs, which is a bar with outdoor volleyball, all right in Mason. And if you're like me and you like to play golf, there are some awesome country club options right here as well. You've got Heritage Club, Four Bridges, Wetherington, and public course, the Grizzly, which is actually right next to the Cincinnati Open's location, the Lindner Tennis Center. And one thing to note about Mason, there are a ton of church options. My best guess is that there are over 20 churches right here in Mason. And I do want to touch on some really exciting projects coming up right now in Deerfield and Mason. First, we have the district at Deerfield. The idea here is suburban living with urban amenities. It's a 28-acre mixed-use development, and it's anchored by 50 West. Second, we have a $150 million development that's mixed use called Mosaic. There will be homes, townhomes, and office space, and this one is anchored by a Dayton favorite, Dorothy Lane Market. Hey, so we've talked about everything that Mason and Deerfield have to offer. Now, let's talk about the housing. So I'm here in the Long Cove community, and this is one of the most beautiful and extravagant communities in the Mason and Deerfield Township area. But contrary to popular belief, Mason is not all homes in the multi-million-dollar price point. So although some of these homes might be up to 10,000 square feet or more and exceeding $2.5 million in sale price, that's not what every house is around here. Throughout Mason, you're gonna find a variety of options for different sizes of home, styles of neighborhood, and even eras in which they were built. So the price point to get in really might be a lot closer to $200,000, and going up from there, the average price point in Mason as a whole is actually around $450,000. So as you can see in similar neighborhoods around here, in Montgomery, the average price point is gonna be slightly higher, and in Westchester, it's gonna be a little bit lower. But Mason as a whole is a fantastic place to buy a home, and the homes in this area maintain their value incredibly well. So you can find everything in Mason, from spacious single-family homes to modern townhouses and condos. The neighborhoods often feature homes with generous lots and well-maintained landscapes, and popular neighborhoods include Heritage Club with its beautiful golf course views, and the upscale Crooked Tree Preserve, known for its luxurious homes and natural surroundings. Many of the homes have been built in the last 20 to 30 years, providing modern amenities while maintaining a charming suburban feel. You'll find plenty of homes with open floor plans, large kitchens, and outdoor living spaces perfect for entertaining. The median age of homes here in Mason is between 20 and 25 years, and there are still tons of new options coming in with developments and new home build opportunities. So whether you find yourself more drawn to a well-established community that's been around 20 or 40 years, or a brand new development with a brand new home, Mason's gonna have a great option for you. Now, if you're looking for a more budget-friendly option in Mason, some of the ranch plans, bi-levels, tri-levels, and quads that were built in the 70s and 80s are still here. And you've got neighborhoods full of those that might be in the $200,000, $300,000, and up to $400,000 price range, but they're very affordable, they're great homes, and some of them have been highly renovated and updated, where you're not gonna have to do anything but move right in. And if you're looking to spend a little bit more, maybe you've been relocated for work or you're new to the area, there are gonna be custom homes you'll find on some much larger lots and different developments, and there are beautiful communities like Long Cove right here that are gonna give you plenty of options with tons of square footage and beautiful finishes for your family. And as you know at this point, we're a real estate team here in the Cincinnati market. We do tons of business in Mason, and we sell just under 200 homes a year. If you have any questions about the housing specifically, we would love to answer those for you. Now let's transition and talk about the demographics here in Mason. The city of Mason has a population of over 35,000 residents, experiencing steady growth over the past decade. In my opinion, this growth reflects the area's appeal to families, professionals, and retirees alike. The median age in Mason is right around 40 years old, with a very balanced mix of individuals. Approximately 65% of households are married couples, and the average family size is just over 3 individuals at 3.1. This high percentage of family households highlights Mason's reputation as a family-friendly suburb. The median household income in Mason is just over $100,000, reflecting the area's affluence and strong local economy. This income level supports a high quality of life, with residents able to enjoy the numerous amenities and services available. When it comes to livability, Mason was given a score of 85 out of 100, which qualified as an exceptional score. When it comes to transportation, Mason's walking score is actually only an 18. This indicates that it's primarily car dependent, but with some walkable areas, especially near the shopping centers and the parks. While you need a car for most errands, neighborhoods like downtown Mason and around the Deerfield Town Center are much more pedestrian friendly. Mason actually does not have a transit score because of the limited options, and Mason's bike score is 42. It has several bike-friendly trails and parks, but generally requiring a car for daily commuting. Mason's city commitment to expanding its bike paths and lanes is making it increasingly bike-friendly, ideal for recreational riders. Now let's talk school rankings. Mason City schools are highly rated, often among the absolute top in the state. The district is known for its excellent academic programs, extracurricular activities, and sports facilities. Mason High School in particular is recognized for its strong AP programs and honestly, their state championship winning sports teams. The schools are well funded with modern facilities and a variety of programs to support both student growth and achievement. Now, there are some great private school options not far outside of Mason as well. Some of the more common ones are Cincinnati Hills Christian Academy, St. Xavier, Moeller, Miami Valley Christian Academy, Mars Hill, and Summit Country Day, just to name a few. And let's quickly chat about the employers that are most prominent here in Mason. One of the largest is Procter & Gamble with their Mason Business and Innovation Center. This is a huge facility and employs a ton of folks here in Mason. Very similarly, Cintas, Luxottica, Mitsubishi, Macy's, and Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield are very prominent employers here in the area. Now let's talk crime rates. Mason boasts a super low crime rate. It's approximately 70% lower than the Cincinnati average, and on paper, people would say it is a very safe place to live. The city's commitment to community policing and neighborhood watch programs definitely contribute to this safety, and residents often cite the feeling of security as one of the top reasons that they enjoy living in Mason. Now, as we round this out, the cost of living in Mason is a little bit higher than the Cincinnati average, but it does offer a good balance of quality amenities, safety, and excellent schools, which many think justify the investment for their family. While housing costs are a little bit higher, residents find some value in the superior public services, well-maintained infrastructure, and the overall quality of life. Utilities, groceries, and healthcare costs are all in line with the national average, ensuring a comfortable standard of living. Now look, this video has been a lot of my opinions about Mason, but why don't we go to a much more trusted resource and interview the former mayor of Mason, Shar Pelfrey. All right, I'm here with Shar Pelfrey. Shar is a dear family friend of ours, and she was actually the former mayor of Mason, so we've got a great opinion on our hands today of someone who loves the area, knows the area, and has been actually pretty instrumental in developing a lot of what we see to this day. So Shar, question right out of the gates for you. What is it that you like about living in Mason?
Well, I've said for many years that Mason is a great place to not only live and work, but to raise a family. But I wouldn't take my word for it because Mason just last year was voted number 4 by Fortune magazine as the best place to live in the United States. And then NerdWallet, I've never heard of NerdWallet, but they have said that we are the second best place. That's pretty amazing. Also, because of our excellence in EMS services, police services, we were voted the second safest city to live in the United States. That's huge. Mason City schools, A+ schools, you can't get better than that. So, those are pretty amazing credentials.
Shar, what do you think about the location of Mason?
Well, the city of Mason is obviously located between 3 major interstates, 71, 75, 275. So that has allowed us amazing growth. We just 45 minutes north, we have an international airport. 45 minutes south, we have an international airport. Within 5 minutes drive, we have 2 hospitals within the city of Mason. That's incredible. Our restaurants, our regional shopping, location has really been beneficial to improving the quality city of Mason.
All right, what was great about raising your family here?
Well, it was a delight raising our family here in the city of Mason, and I would just say we really capitalize on Mason's amenities. I don't know if you know this, but Mason has 300 acres of pristine parks, active, passive, inclusive, 25 miles of hiking and biking. So that's big, and we capitalize on that. Obviously, the kids just every year just went crazy over Kings Island, Great Wolf Lodge. You can't not do that. Yeah, but then we're involved in Mason Community Center and all of the programming that is available just within the community. So Mason was a great place to raise these kids.
What did you learn about Mason during your time as mayor?
Well, I loved being the mayor of the city. I have to quantify that. It was an amazing opportunity for me to just really get involved in the cross-section of the diversity within the city. And as we have grown exponentially from a really small farm town community to the pristine city that we are now, we have somehow captured a small town feel, a family-friendly community. And I'll tell you how you can see that is in our Heritage Day Parade. You'll see just family after family outside cheering for everybody that goes by. It's a cross-section of all that who we are. Our Memorial Day Parade, we get out there and we're just thankful to our veterans and we celebrate as a community. So Mason, as the mayor, I got to be involved in that and watch that change over the years. And it's just, a great place to live and to work and be a mayor.
All right, what are some of your local favorite places to grab food? If you and your husband are going out somewhere, or if you've got some grandkids that night, what are some spots that you love?
Well, we live just within walking distance of the city, of downtown. So just for us, everybody loves two cities. Yep. Right next to that is Quatman's. Right down the road is Cervati's if you've got a sweet tooth. Or walk down where we have hundreds of times walked to the kids to the Whippy Dip and get their soft serve ice cream. Or our grandkids just absolutely love Ichabod, walking distance from the city of Mason. We have Luigi's. There's just all kinds of opportunities just within the city of Mason, within downtown. So we don't even get out of our car often. We just walk.
All right, what do you guys do for fun around here?
Well, Danny, I don't know if you know this, but Warren County has been named for many years as Ohio's largest playground.
Yep.
So within the city of Mason, we've got a lot of amazing things. Obviously, we have international tennis. We have the Grizzly. We have, obviously, Kings Island, Great Wolf Lodge, all of our programming within the city. But because we're within Warren County, we've got a region at our opportunity. Our bike paths now connect to the Miami Trail, which is amazing. Fort Ancient, Caesars Creek. There's just museums everywhere, restaurants of all kinds of diversity. So, it is. There's all kinds of things to do for fun at any age, any wallet.
All right, we're getting to the end here. Why should someone consider moving to Mason?
Well, aside from the amenities that we talked about, just something that I got to see as all my years on council and as the mayor, Mason has worked really hard at economic development. So we attract the big corporations, Procter & Gamble, Mitsubishi, L3, Cintas, Festo, the list goes on. And because of that, their earnings tax dollars come into the city of Mason and push down our responsibility as residents for the tax burden of the community. So yeah, it is, just an interesting figure. 85 cents to the dollar, our businesses are chiming in for our earnings tax. So that's pretty incredible. We just lowered our sewer rates. Who does that these days? But to answer that question as a mom, Mason's just a lovely place to live, to raise kids, to walk around safely, to get involved in the community or not. And just really any aspect of this community, somebody can get involved or enjoy the amenities here and have a great lifetime.
All right, any last things, just to put a complete bow on this, what else would people need to know about Mason?
Well, we've already talked about how amazing the city of Mason is, our location, our amenities, our region. But if someone is interested in moving into the city of Mason, they better do their homework. And they better be ready to make a quick move because our homes don't last but a day here. Yeah, everybody wants to move in, so you gotta act quick.
Hey, thanks for joining us on our tour of Mason. We do want to end with this question: who is Mason for? Mason is truly perfect for families, professionals, and retirees who value a safe, community-oriented environment with excellent schools and a wealth of amenities. If you're someone who enjoys suburban living with easy access to both natural and urban attractions, Mason might just be the place for you. Hey, and as always, if you have any questions, we would love to hear from you. You can reach us at info@barongrouprealty.com. We're a team of realtors here in Cincinnati, and we would love to serve you if you're looking to buy or sell here in the area. If you like this video, subscribe to our channel for more content just like this. And if you have any neighborhoods you'd like to see next, drop them in the comments. We'll see you soon.